Peace and love, gods and goddesses. This is Indigo Nara. Um, so today I'm gonna talk about consciousness. You know, your consciousness is that ball of light that was created from the darkness. And to be in a state of consciousness means to be in a state of awareness. Now, how I look at it is like the consciousness is like your pilot. So, the pilot has the knowledge, the experience, the talent, all the gifts. That's your consciousness. Has the knowledge and the experience, You can't take that away from the consciousness or the pilot. So, basically what has happened is the pilot who controls the vessel, the consciousness, controls the physical, your body, this vessel, this technology. That's the consciousness that controls this. But what has happened is the pilot has basically put the vessel in autopilot. So the consciousness has put the vessel, not the consciousness, but your vessel is basically in autopilot. And it has been in autopilot for centuries, for years. And what I mean by this is basically while the vessel is on autopilot, the pilot is sleeping. That's your consciousness, right? And your vessel is on autopilot, basically doing its own thing, running its own show based on the environment that it's in. So as I was saying, so what's happened is your consciousness is basically sleeping. That's your pilot, while your vessel is on autopilot. No, not just sleeping, but in a deep sleep, similar to a coma, right? So what do you think happens when the pilot eventually wakes? When the pilot eventually awakens, the pilot cannot just go back into his position and into the seat and just start controlling the vessel after being dormant, for such a long period. And that's the same with the consciousness. We've been sleeping for so long. We've been in this deep sleep, a form of comatose, right? So when the consciousness awakens, we don't just go into our true purpose and are able to manifest our true powers. It's a process, just like the pilot. He has to go through, therapy. He has to build up himself physically, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Same with the consciousness. And that's where the therapy is the shadow work. So the shadow work that we're putting in right now, where we're building up our physical, we're exercising and we're slowly disconnecting from the matrix, right? We're putting in, as I said, we're putting in our exercise and we're getting our physical body up to par, right? We're putting in the right foods, we're eating the right foods, the fruits, the vegetables, we're doing all of that. That's shadow work, therapy. We're getting our vitamins, we're taking our vitamins. That's the sun. We need the sun to give us that energy back, So all the shadow work that we're putting in, the end result is reactivating that memory and going to a higher awareness, bringing your consciousness to a higher awareness, to the point where you're basically able to remember who you are and what your true powers are. That is what the shadow work is. So just like the pilot, when a pilot, you know, awakes, there are people around him that know who he is, know his true powers, know his talents, know his gifts. Same with the consciousness. We may not, when we awaken, we may not know who we are. We don't remember who we are because we still have to be, putting in the shadow work, self-healing, So shadow work is like healing and basically growing, becoming that higher self. So, as I said, people around the pilot know who he is when he awakens, but he may not necessarily remember who he is and his talents. Consciousness. When you awaken, you may not know who you are, but you see the beings around us, the elites, they know who we are, and they know our true power. They know our capabilities, right? And basically this awakening that is taking place, what it is doing is activating who we truly are. It's going to activate our powers. And basically what we are right now, what's happening with most people right now is that they're just trying to remember who they truly are. That's why you're digging for knowledge. That's why we're connecting with each other so much. We're connecting to source, which is nature, the sun. And it's basically a bridge from the old moving into the new. It's that bridge. So this ascension that is taking place is like the bridge. We're moving from that old system into the new system. And the new system is where you're going to manifest all these powers. Some people call it the golden age. That's where we're going to be in control. We're going to be able to manifest all our powers, because by then we would have put in all the shadow work and we would have remembered who we truly are. And you see, those that are left behind, those are the pilots that still remain sleeping, dormant. So they're going to be left behind in that physical realm. Yeah, but that's what I really wanted to share with you today, the consciousness. Consciousness is that bright light, and that's us. And that bright light, that's what was created from the darkness. That's who we are. And trust me, the powers that we are going to be able to manifest, they're not going to be able to comprehend, and they know this. They fucking know this. Anyway, that's it for now. Big up on yourself, straight love. All right, peace out.